Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this video. So in part 1 we started making a card, and it's going to be a dimensional card. This is kind of my scrap or experience with it, experimenting. So we're going to finish the card now. I used the Sunny Studio Everything Rosy stamp set, and I've done everything on camera so far except I've finished stamping the leaves. So you probably will want to go watch part 1 first, because we're almost at the end of making this card actually. So now I have 2 panels here, and when I line them up, the leaves are going to match and everything, and you'll see how to do that in part 1. Now I'm going to take off my masks from my flowers. Like I said, I did everything on camera except I did finish stamping layer 3 on the leaves. So you didn't have to sit and watch that. So now I'm just gonna actually, I can just take it out of my MISTI. I don't think I need my MISTI anymore, but I'm gonna leave it there. So now I'm gonna use my pencils. I have a white, a dark green, and a dark reddish color. These are Prisma colored pencils, and they're really nice if you've never tried the Prismacolor. I like them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the white, and I'm just going to put a little bit of highlight in here. You can see there's already some highlight from the stamping, so I'm just going to kind of make it a little more so it stands out a little more. And just go around with my white pencil and kind of outline some of those little spots and make them a little more crisp. You don't have to do this. You could end your card right there really and put it all together. But I just thought this would be kind of a fun little technique to try out. Okay, now I'm going to take the red and just darken some of those areas that have shading. Now this is a 5-layered stamp, so if I used all 5 layers I wouldn't have to do this, and I really don't have to do this. I just thought it would be kind of fun to use my colored pencils and my stamps together. So I'm just putting in a few little shading now. Just kind of giving this some interest, I hope. I just thought this would kind of be a fun technique, and you will see on some of my leaves especially that they weren't exactly lined up because I couldn't get my head right down in there. I didn't want you to just be looking at my head while I was trying to line things up. So I can fix those with my pencil. Put a little bit right there, I think. Don't you like how that just kind of brightens it up a little bit more? Gives it a little more character, texture, or whatever. Okay, now I'm going to do the leaves. They're pretty much done since I did all 3 layers, but I think I can add just a tiny bit to the leaves. Just let's put a little bit of highlights over in here. So it's really not hard to do. And if you don't have these layered stamps, you can certainly do this with just a solid stamp. You could take, maybe if I have time, I'll show you that at the end. If I don't, I'll make another video on it. But you can just take a solid stamp and add your own highlights and shading to it, too. So I'm just kind of where I think I want a little bit, I want to make it stand out a little bit more. Okay. Put some down in there because I want to shade it right along there. Give some right along there so that my rose will stand out from the leaves. So if you go around the rose and shade it in, it makes your rose pop out a little more. Can you see how that's doing it? We could do it on this one too. Make this rose stand out. Let's see, which one's on top? I think they're kind of overlapping each other, so we'll just put a little bit right in there. And then it makes it pop out. Can you see how it popped out? Okay, so that is pretty much the technique. Now we're going to finish this card. Then, if we have some time, I'll show you it with just a solid stamp. But I have this back. I can't think of the color now. It's just a light brown. I don't know there's a color. It's got a name, but I can't think of what it's called right now. So this is going to be my back, my base. And I'm going to take this first panel and stick it on my base. And I forgot to grab my tape, but it's right here. I am all thumbs today. I am having a hard time picking everything up. Make sure you have it so it opens the right way. I've done that a few times where it's opened the wrong way, and then you can always fix it, but you know, it's nicer if you don't have to. Okay, and then I want this to pop up, so I have some dimensional tape. Close to my heart sells this dimensional tape as well. And I'm just going to take 3 or 4 strips and put along the back of my card to make it pop up. So you can get really fancy with your card. You could have stopped where I stopped at the first video. That is totally up to you. And it will still look nice either way. And you just peel those off. Line it up. All right. I can see right now it didn't line up the way I wanted it to. But you know what? That can be fixed too. And I don't have any right here close by. So we'll pretend, but I would just take some ribbon and put right across there like that, and then you would not even notice. Well, the other thing I forgot to do was put my sentiment on there. So I'm just gonna grab, let's see, one of these. Let's put Just Because. That's a good one, isn't it? So let's put our Just Because. I want it right there. So I'm going to use my block this time because it'll be quicker. And my black ink. Okay, and then I would still do the ribbon. So pretend this is a ribbon. You can either put it under, just right under the Just Because, that would be nice, or you could put it to the side, and then it kind of balances out the card. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, we have a couple seconds. I think I can show you. What happened to my scrap paper? We'll just do it on my scrap paper. So you would take your solid stamp, and stamp it in whatever color you want. We'll just use the pink since I have it here still. So I'm using my lightest color of pink. And you stamp that. And then you can take your pencils and do your own shading and highlighting. So I would just do a little more with the white. I don't know how well you can see this. Hopefully you can see, because that's pretty, you know what? You probably should stamp it in a dark color. Let's try stamping it in a dark color. Except it will show up better. So I'm going to take my dark color. Stamp it one more time so it's really solid. Ah! As I told you, I can't hold on to these. They like to fly off everywhere on me. Okay. There. Now we have a good, dark, solid image. And I can put in my highlights with my white pencil. I want a little bit around the edges, just to make those petals stand out. I'm doing this really quick because we're going to run out of time again here, but you could take your time and do this nice. Now I want some shading, so I'm just going to go back in with my dark pencil and put some shading in. There, that makes you feel like an artist. If you can't draw or whatever, you can get close to it with your pens and your stamps and your pencils. So This isn't the best example. It's on scrap paper and it's got all kinds of stuff going on here. But that gives you an idea of what you can do with a solid stamp as well. All right. Here's our finished card. I hope there was some tips in there for you, and thank you for watching. I'll talk with you later. Bye.